So at the entrepreneurial level, you want to have somebody, a second in command. Daphne Fiorante joined me last week. I doubled my company last week, so I understand from all you experienced entrepreneurs, you only do that once, right? And then after that, it's fractional. So you want that second in command to really help you take your business to the next level. So if you're down here, if you brought your checkbooks, you can just write Receiver General and all of it, because you're going to be in a really unfortunate situation of not being able to take advantage of certain tax things and structures that are there for you to protect wealth. Okay? If you have a written plan but no timeline, that's fine. You can start filling in some of the talent and the pieces. If you have a timeline, then get something on paper. There's a lot of good resources out there. There's checklists on my website at simchichconsulting.com that can give you some structure. Those are free resources, and there's also all sorts of information. The banks are getting into this. I know the Royal Bank specifically has a succession planning binder or package. The CFIB has resources for this. 7 out of 10 entrepreneurs in Canada are going to retire the next 8 to 10 years. 1 out of 7 have a written plan. So since we, entrepreneurs, are 45% of this economy, employing 7 out of 10 of new people being employed, and really going to be the ones that innovate the way out of this economic situation, that's pretty scary. So what we want to do in terms of beginning with the end in mind, managing by not being there, is getting a plan in place that will help you run your business. Succession planning happens at 2 levels. So it's a succession 2-step. And what happens if you try and do it all at once, it's too hard and there's too much going on. Succession happens at the ownership level and succession happens at the management level. It's much easier to do this one first, because when you have a management team in place that can run your business because you're not there, then ownership is a lot more fun. You can be golfing and your business can be running. The ownership is a lot more about structure, and then sometimes there's family involved here. So the 3 circles in a family business. Am I okay standing in front of these things, or is it looking goofy, huh? Okay, good, good. Employer, manager. It's very hard to do in PowerPoint live as we're going along. So when you're the owner-manager, you're in these 2 circles. And if you have a family business, then this one's here as well. So there's 7 different combinations here. Your family not in the business, you're an owner, you're an employee or a manager, you're a family member working in the business, you're a family member who's an owner but not in the business, you're an owner-manager, and bullseye, you're all of the above. So for those of you that feel like a target on a certain day, that could be why. And then in terms, there's different governance processes and procedures. So in terms of structure, there's things like family council. And really it's about having conversations about your family without your business dominating every mealtime conversation, things like that. Establishing family traditions and celebrating birthdays and weddings and graduations, and just having family fun without the weight of the business all the time. The owner, the formal is a board. So not only are you owner-managers, you're probably the de facto board that has meetings on the fly. In other words, your lawyer sends you some minutes that you might sign, right? And so that another opportunity here is to create an advisory board, which is not a legal board, but it gives you access to resources or peers. CAFE offers this indirectly through its personal advisory groups that we have access to. Different people with different levels of experience that can help us make those decisions. And here, this is the management team. And this is often the best place to start to accomplish this. Regardless of where you are in the process, you can probably push stuff to your team, give you more freedom so that you don't have to be there all the time. And people, without information, so you can use your discretion to share certain financial information, whether it's by department or operationally or things like that, so that they can then make decisions and see how they're going. It's when we played street hockey, right? The game was to 10, another game to 10, another game to 10. We always kept score. We always had the information. Sometimes we'd switch up teams, things like that. So you want your employees to be able to keep score, and you want some of those metrics to be financial, and you want some of them to be key performance indicators. In other words, that measure crucial things, whether it's billable time, whether it's speed. So if you're working on a project and it comes in here, the faster you get it done, interestingly enough, the more value it has to your clients, right? So that's really important as a measure, and that holds people accountable. And without information, you can't hold people accountable. So they're not going to have the level of passion that you do, as you know, right? And they're not going to be able to connect the dots as you do, as you know, right? Without that information. Any questions? No question? I'm scared. I've written to smile. I'm smiling more. I hired experts to smile more. Okay. Strategy. What is strategy? Anybody want to take a stab at defining strategy?
A plan.
A plan, okay.
Process.
Okay. A plan to do what?
Find a way to roll like that.
Okay, okay, good. Okay, excellent. A process to do what?
To achieve your goal.
Yep, okay. Make money. Goal, money. Okay, excellent. It's the intentional alignment with your vision and your values and your mission, and that's buzz, but it's important stuff, because if your employees don't know it, they can't tell it to your customers, right? So it's the intentional alignment of why you're in business and what you really want to do, vision and values and mission, along with your core competence, what you're really good at, and your product market focus, right? In accomplishing your goal, which you're going to have internal goals. But where does this stuff come from? It comes from customers. Purpose of a business, economic reality exists outside your business. And one of the major challenges is when we're busy day to day, we're looking inside our businesses. And it's hard to see ourselves like customers see us because we can't really read the label of the bottle when we're inside the bottle, right? So if I asked you what's your strategy, so if you're sitting here with somebody from your business, why don't you tell each other what your strategy is and see what you come up with? So we'll take 10 or 15 seconds to do this. I'm serious.